Hi, everyone. Welcome to Shhhcrets. Before we get into it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you like raw, unfiltered opinions and the kind of truth that makes folks squirm a little. Today, we need to talk about Nelly and Ashanti's new reality show. Yes, it's happening. But before we dive in, let me just say this. To avoid any copyright issues, I won't be playing the trailer. So go ahead and throw on your headphones while you do your dishes, vacuum the floor, or get your steps in. Just keep listening because I've got some things to say. Now, when I first heard Nelly and Ashanti were coming out with a reality show, I rolled my eyes. Not because I don't like them. I do. Ashanti is stunning, and she's had a beautiful glow up. And Nelly, well, Nelly's still Nelly. But let's not pretend that these two don't come with baggage. They were off and on for over a decade. And while the pregnancy announcement made fans root for their love story again, jumping into reality TV right now, that feels like the wrong move at the worst possible time. There's something about putting a relationship under the microscope too early that just never sits right with me, especially a relationship with this much history and this much instability. It's one thing to post a cute couple video on Instagram. It's another thing to sign a contract, open your home to a production team, and invite the entire world into your business. That's not just letting people in. That's inviting chaos with a camera crew. One of the biggest red flags for me came right from the preview. They admit they don't even know where they're going to live. Let's sit with that for a second. You've been off and on for over a decade. You break up, live separate lives, reunite, and now you're having a baby. And still, no agreement on where to live? No foundation? That's not romance. That's a lack of planning. How are y'all building a future when you're not even on the same page about the basics? That, to me, is not just a detail, it's a warning sign. Because love without alignment doesn't last. And what this screams to me is that Ashanti said yes to the fantasy before the logistics were figured out. It's like she got swept up in the dream, but didn't slow down long enough to ask, wait, is this actually sustainable? Then there's the parenting moment, and this one had me clutching my imaginary pearls. In the preview, Nelly says his parenting style is basically, just don't burn the house down. That's supposed to be funny. It's not. That kind of hands-off energy doesn't bode well when you're raising a child, especially when your partner is a new mom doing this for the first time. What I heard wasn't laid back, it was detached. And too often, women end up doing the heavy lifting while the man gets praised for just being there. Ashanti is walking into a dynamic that's already looking lopsided. It's giving married single mother vibes. It's giving, you'll be doing this on your own, sis, but legally attached to him. We've got to stop normalizing that because it's not funny and it's not sustainable. But what really turned my stomach was that shady little headline they slid into the trailer. Nelly dropped Ashanti like a bad habit for lying about her dirty double-dipping ways. Why was that included in the promo? And why would she co-sign that being aired on a platform meant to showcase their new chapter? Let me tell you what that line felt like. It felt like preemptive damage control. Like he wanted to remind people, hey, if anything goes wrong again, it wasn't all my fault last time. And that rubs me the wrong way. Because if you're really starting fresh, why weaponize your past like that? Why bring up something that paints her in a negative light when she's standing beside you pregnant with your child? It felt like a backhanded jab disguised as drama. And honestly, it made me question his intentions. Let's also not ignore the age and power dynamic. When they first got together, Ashanti was a young woman in her early 20s. Nelly was already a grown man. Now, here they are reuniting years later, and it's hard not to wonder if some of those dynamics are still lingering, especially when it feels like she's bending to make this work. changing her location, her lifestyle, and now exposing her private life to the public. Meanwhile, he gets to be chill, say, just don't burn down the house and keep it pushing. I say all of this not out of judgment, but out of concern. Ashanti has always carried herself with grace, and I genuinely want to see her win. But I also want her to be protected. And if she's not going to protect herself, maybe this show will be the wake-up call that shows why peace is more valuable than nostalgia. This relationship feels like it's being monetized before it's stabilized. And to the women watching at home, don't let anyone convince you that a piece of a man is better than none at all. A piece of a man will leave you emotionally starving, and no amount of matching outfits or cute reality show edits can fix that. So, yeah, I'm wishing them the best. But I'll be watching with low expectations and even lower tolerance for anything that makes her look like the desperate one. Because she deserves better than a man who still doesn't know where he wants to live or what kind of father he wants to be.